Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Vade, aka Pro Benchwarmer. Welcome to a brand new series on this channel. It's called Box Benchwarmers. In this series, we'll be discussing all the incomplete archetypes in Duel Links, their relative history in our meta, and what cards need to be added to them to make them competitively viable in Duel Links. Now, if you enjoy content like this, smash the hell out of that like button and hit subscribe, because we will be bringing videos like this for as long as there are incomplete archetypes in Duel Links. And if you've been playing this game for more than a month, you've realized by now that there are way too many incomplete archetypes in this game. So we're gonna get started with this first episode, which is going to be based all around Amazonas. Amazonas are an archetype that My Valentine used in the anime and are currently the best cards that she drops when you farm her at the gate. They consist of Amazonas Swordswoman, Amazonas Sage, Paladin, which is a level up reward, and also a PvP reward. What else? Fighter, Tiger. There's a ton that we got when the game first dropped. So were they good when Duel Links just came out? No, they were dead on arrival, just like they were in the TCG before any new support. The monsters are just way too weak with effects that are just not fast enough to actually advance the deck. It was very slow. The effects are like mediocre at best, and they relied on a whole bunch of back row that were generic, and it just was not good at all. But that's not to say that these cards have not seen niche use. In the game, when we had OG statue control, Sage was splashed into a couple statue controls to pop back row before we had Sergeant Electro. Swordswoman's been used heavily in Burn before our Amazonas was ever used as an archetype in Duel Links, and Chainmaster has seen some play in Luck in Your Side decks to pop the skill, and also to just snatch monsters out of your opponent's hand. But as a archetype, there has never been a proper spell and trap lineup to make them useful. We only had Dramatic Rescue, Amazonas Shamanism, and Willpower, and that wasn't cutting it at all. We also had an Elegant Mai event, which she brought some cards. I mean, she had Dance Princess of the Ice Barrier, she had Queen's Pawn and Amazon's Archer, which is the card that I want to talk about, because she brought Amazonas support, but she also had just random cards. But Queen's Pawn and Amazonas Archers, while they were good, they're just not good in this archetype. Queen's Pawn requires you to destroy an opponent's monster with an Amazonas monster, which at 1500 attack, you're probably never doing that. To then special summon an Amazonas monster out of your deck, way too slow. And then Amazonas Archers drops all your opponent's monsters attack by 500, and they're forced to attack into your monster. But unless your opponent's monsters are 1900 attack, you're just gonna lose. Like, that's way too slow, completely not useful. So she didn't give us anything to make this deck actually good. Fast forward to the new box that just dropped, Valiant Souls. We finally got some decent Amazonas support in the form of Amazonas Baby Tiger. And what else dropped out of this thing? Amazonas Spy, Amazonas Fighting Spirit, Amazonas Heirloom, and Amazonas Onslaught. I believe that's the only Amazonas cards that dropped out of this box, right? Oh, well, we had Scouts, but nobody's playing Scouts. Now, these cards are great because they finally offer something that Amazonas did not have when they first started as an archetype within Duel Links, which is swarming and field control through Onslaught. Onslaught lets you special summon a monster in the battle phase. Baby Tiger special summons itself whenever you normal or special summon an Amazonas monster, and the Amazonas Spy is a free special summon. So we finally get cards that can swarm the board, albeit really weak cards. So a lot of people have been leaning towards the Holy Guard skill to make this deck actually work, which in the future I'm going to talk about why Holy Guard will be a great skill with Amazonas. The next card we also got is Heirloom, which is great because, you know, these monsters are really weak. So if they just slam into it, you keep your monster, which keeps your field presence, and then they lose a monster. But I have an issue with Heirloom only because it's kind of telegraphed. It's like, hey, attack me, so that you lose your monster, so your opponent just doesn't attack your monster, or they find some non-battle way to remove your monsters, like Econ take and slap you with it and stuff like that. Well, Fighting Spirit, while it is a cool card, this should have been put in the field spell for Amazoness Village. It's just not good to me, to be completely honest. It's a continuous spell in the back, which you need space for Amazoness Onslaught plus extra cards to keep your plays going. So I personally do not run those cards. However, we finally got cards that we needed for Amazoness, but where does it put us in the meta? I believe Amazoness is currently probably tier 3, tier 4, because while they can swarm, they turn into a top deck game really fast, because you just need to keep drawing Amazoness monsters to keep slapping your opponent's monsters away, while they have many ways of just actually having control over the board because they have actually strong monsters. So with that, I'm going to talk about the 3 cards that Amazoness need to actually become somewhat competitive in Duel Links. The first one is, let me see if I can pull up the image for this. The first one being Amazoness Princess. Now, sorry for the image being really small, but I will run through the effect. Amazoness Princess name becomes Amazoness Queen when it's on the field or in the graveyard, which is kind of irrelevant. If this card is normal or special summon, add 1 Amazoness spell and trap card from your deck straight to your hand. This is a great searcher because now it grabs Onslaught from the deck straight to the hand, which has been the main issue of consistency with Amazoness currently. So this is a great searcher, because running 3 of these would be like running 6 Onslaughts, which is fantastic. Because if you don't open up with Onslaught, as long as you open up a Princess, you open up Onslaught. Like, it's totally fine. Its next effect says you can only use this effect of Amazoness Princess once per turn. When this card declares an attack, you can send 1 other card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Special summon an Amazoness monster from your deck in defense position, except for Amazoness Princess. Now, this is key to note that while Princess is on the field, it counts as Amazoness Queen. So the main reason why you can't special summon Amazoness Princess is because it would be some crazy looping, but you can special summon other monsters, which is another swarming effect. And since you just nabbed up Onslaught, it makes Holy Guard so good for this this deck. And also, going along with new card number 2, which would be Amazoness Call, which the Princess can search, we would have a consistent Amazoness deck. Amazoness Call says take 1 Amazoness card from your deck, monster or spell or trap, and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. If we can run both these cards at 3, this is a deck that's running 9 Onslaughts technically, because you can draw your 3 Onslaughts, or you can draw Amazoness Princess, which grabs you an Onslaught, or you can draw Amazoness Call, which grabs you a Princess, which grabs you an Onslaught. Oh my god, this deck would be amazing. And it has an engrave effect, which in your main phase, you can banish this card, target when your Amazon monster, and it can attack all your opponent's monsters without dying. And it's the only monster that can attack, so you can use that with Swordswoman. It's kind of niche, but you kind of don't need to use that at all. This card is amazing. And the last card would be Amazoness Queen. We need a tribute monster for Amazoness because Floodgate destroys this deck. Even though it's not used that often, when it is being used, it is destroying this deck. Amazoness Queen also states that Amazoness monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. So if you're going second, you can go Amazoness Call to search Amazoness Princess. Amazoness Princess, grab Onslaught. Set Onslaught, attack with Princess, discard maybe Baby Tiger to the graveyard. Special summon Queen. Queen gets special summoned, so Baby Tiger comes back to the field. And because Queen's on the field, your Princess doesn't get destroyed, and now you have Onslaught on the field, 3 monsters on your field, and your opponent now has to deal with that and getting banished. And with Holy Guard, you can keep slamming Princess into things and banishing things, and now you have a free 2400 attack body on the field to attack straight for game. It would be an amazing, consistent deck if we get these 3 cards. Now, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and stay tuned for more of these videos. But I'm gonna get going, and that's a wrap.